All right, y'all, we are live right now. We have a very special guest today. You might have heard of him. Stay tuned. We will be live in 3 minutes and 51 seconds for some spicy technical analysis with Mr. Tom Crown. Spicy. All right, y'all, we are live with a very special guest, the spiciest man in technical analysis, the guy who called the crow pump before it happened, and many other coins, Mr. Tom Crown. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, my man. I almost forgot about that. I did call that crow pump. I'm doing
Live.
great. Hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you, and everyone else, let me know if you can hear Mr. Tom Crown.
Right on.
They can hear you.
Good. We had some issues. It can be tricky to do these streams when you're kind of connected on Discord and then connected on a live stream. The hardware, the technicals can get difficult. So
Yeah, for sure, man. The technology. So how's it going, man? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit. I've been staying busy. The market's been, at least for me, being a macro kind of swing trader, it's not been the most exciting maybe in 2021 so far. So I've been focusing on hanging out with good people like yourself, kind of collaborating, making some other content. I just released a video on Intel, getting into Bitcoin mining, and it could be spicier, the last few weeks, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, it is the winter, man, and you are a fellow farmer, correct? These days?
I live on one. Not so much farming myself, but I am looking forward to in the spring here, maybe planting some herbs, if you know what I mean.
Some herb, huh?
Some herb,
Interesting,
like
man.
basil.
Like basil, right, right. I have some as well growing, and hydroponically, actually.
Nice.
And so, in the wintertime, the chili peppers don't really grow. And the cayenne peppers definitely don't grow in the winter. So that's just how it is with crypto and I guess real life too.
I guess that's proof that crypto is a chili pepper.
Well, Bitcoin is definitely a plant, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
100%. So I'm glad to have you on the show, man, because, I want to get your take on these crypto markets right now. Things are, we were super bullish for a while there. We hit that all-time high. And people are starting to get pretty nervous, man. We're grinding down around the support right now. So, do you think, what do you think is in the future? You're a swing trader. I'm a scalper. I'm over here, you know, trading literally on the 1 minute at times. And you're more of a macro guy. So,
Oh yeah.
let's
Yeah.
get the lowdown and give me some hopium, bro, because I'm starting to get a little
Well,
bit concerned.
okay. My side job is a hopium dealer.
Are you going to grow any hopium on the farm?
It's well that grows in the winter as well, so it's still flourishing. I
Nice.
think by our powers combined, we have the whole chart then, right? So this will be a good take.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing right now is very similar to what we saw in September, what we saw May, June, July. I think it's similar, not just maybe price structure, chart structure wise, but more specifically sentiment wise, interest wise, general crypto traffic wise. It's like deja vu. It's the same thing over again. Back in all those months, we had people saying, "Up there, it's over, bull run's done." They're saying the same things: head and shoulder, double top, all these terms and things.
The
And
bear
that's what we're
buzzes.
seeing again. Yeah, that's what we're seeing again. What kind of is holding on hope here for me is September's low at 39.6. We didn't break it, at least on Coinbase. I'm not sure, you might have to back me up on maybe the perpetuals. But we came just shy of that low. We didn't break it, so the chart itself really is unchanged, in my opinion. We haven't seen much of a relief bounce from the high at 69. Nice. And I'm just like in May, June, July, and September, waiting for that relief bounce to really see where this chart's going to go. I'm still in the mindset of we're in a bull run. We're not done. We're in a loading phase again. But that can change. Just like in the summer or in the spring last year, I was talking about 48K. I'm not really afraid of this 30,000 range. What I'm afraid of is returning, retracing, back to a golden pocket per se, or I was talking about the 20 weekly moving average,
Hmm.
and being rejected from that retracement, seeing that relief bounce gets sold off really hard. That's what becomes threatening to me. And at the moment, we haven't really seen it. I really have seen almost no signs of a relief. We did get a nice wick back in December off of that sell off. But for me, I really haven't seen what I would consider the bounce, or even what could be considered a dead cat bounce yet.
Right. And I do think it's interesting because I do get the similar vibe as you when it comes to, because I had you on the show. We did some kind of collab. I forget if it was your channel or mine. Right in the summer, right when we were grinding down at that 30K level support, and you were bullish, man, and you passed me that hopium pipe, and I took a puff, maybe a few, and
You didn't inhale, right?
I didn't inhale. I missed the long trade, right? And then once
You,
once I
people
figured,
really No, go. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, I missed longing that bottom there, but you're correct. We didn't actually take out that September low. Not even on ByBit did we take out that low. I was waiting to take out that low for a potential long, and
Yep.
so that's kind of good to see. But how do you feel about these very very bearish signs on some of the higher time frames? Like, have you ever heard of an indicator called Market Cipher?
Market what?
Market
Oh,
Cipher.
of course, one of my favorite, most used. Shout
If
out to
you
Crypto Face. What's up, man?
shout out to CF man.
Yeah.
Yeah, monthly, weekly, bearish divergences, bro. Money flow coming down and everything. We did not have that back in the summer, nor did we have that in the fall.
Well, let's take a look. Monthly, yeah, the monthly we just don't have enough data. I think even if we pull it up on BLX, I don't think we have a super great history, do we, to use that? I'll give it a shot. Start on that monthly. Yeah, right. Yeah,
That looks
like the
nasty,
monthly,
bro.
monthly you get,
Oof.
it's so much data. It doesn't really
Oh
doesn't really
man.
look like much. I'll agree
Oh.
with you, man. We have that VWAP trending down, money flow trending down, oscillators, momentum trending down. Not the best look, right? Not the best look.
And what
We
makes it
did see
even
something similar in June, July here. The VWAP coming down, money flow coming down. We haven't seen that recovery yet. So the monthly, not a very attractive time frame. I think we can agree on that for sure.
I mean, if you just go back to that view you had on the monthly real quick, the way that I have shorted local tops many times is when I see this exact thing on the 4-hour time frame. And this pattern that we're seeing right now on the monthly market Cipher B is the exact same pattern we saw on the 4-hour time frame, actually the 3-hour time frame at the exact all-time high of Bitcoin. And it scares me to see a double bearish divergence. And not only are the momentum waves diverging locally, but they're diverging regionally from all the way back in 2017. And the money flow is also
Oh yeah.
diverging, which is a really bearish sign to me. So how do you interpret that? You just think there's not enough data?
I will say for the monthly, yeah, it's a really big time frame. I'll say that, I'll fall back on that. I'll cop out. Yeah, not enough data, but I'll agree with you. The market cipher on the monthly, even on BLX, not good. Yeah, this does not have anything. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, can make something up. I agree. You see like a high into 2017 on money flow, pulls back. We have another high, but it's a lower high, and now it's pulling back again. Like, nothing really bullish about this, right?
I don't think so. It scares me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm coming to you, my hopium dealer over here.
Well, we'll get it. We'll get it. And we'll get the hopiums.
Nice.
We're looking at April, May, June. We had 3 red monthlies. Here we go again. 3 red monthlies, potentially. 13 days left. I think we definitely want to see a close above that monthly kind of order block here. That'd probably put us at about 43.8. I think that's possible. If we look at kind of our, contracts expiring, I think the end of the month, unless this has changed since I looked at it, the 28th, max pain is sitting at about 48K. So if we can see a close at 48K for January, that actually flips this into a green monthly candle that puts us back above our monthly order block here. And all of a sudden this chart probably doesn't look so crappy. And we can see even this month VWAP come back up. We can see that momentum maybe even pinch if we can get a close around 48. We can really see a lot of change in the current candle, provided price doesn't end up right here at 42. And it just looks really crappy. And we have to pray that we're getting a repeat of this pattern.
Right.
Prayers, prayers are great, but they're probably not the best trading tool, in my opinion.
Well, it's funny because from my personal experience, I feel like God has had much mercy and favor upon me in my stupid trading decisions. That I look back and say, man, that was dumb, but thank you, Lord, it worked out.
That's because you're a good dude. Taking care of you. The weekly, though. So the weekly, I think we need to kind of calculate in here because we do have similar signs, right? Yeah, we do have that money flow coming down, momentum coming down. But there is one thing that stands out, and I know you know what it is.
The
On the
VWAP?
weekly market cipher. Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For
this
sure.
is kind of what I'm holding on to here when we're looking at a weekly time frame, is that weekly VWAP here. This is, we said there's nothing bullish about the monthly. There is something bullish about the weekly here. That
Hmm.
VWAP having a low and then a higher low looking to roll over. That's some hopium. There you go. Put
That
that in your pipe
is a bullish divergence on the VWAP.
for sure.
Um, and I'm
I
actually
see.
expecting a relief rally here, potentially up to the $57,000 level. But I do also have to say that if I saw this exact market cipher on the 1 hour time frame, I would be expecting lower. And
Mm.
if I saw this on the 12-minute time frame, I would say that money flow is going to cross under, and yeah, we're going to get a trigger wave here that's going to bring us up to a lower high, and then we're going to get another red trigger wave that's going to bring us down to a lower low. Um, just being objective here, man. I'm not trying to steal your hopium over here and sell it to somebody else
It's
for.
impossible. It's
Okay, good.
impossible.
Right, you've got so much
uh,
on the farm anyway.
yeah, just fields of opium. I agree. And I've also was saying things similar in May, June, July. Is I can't lie to you guys, this chart looks like crap. There's really nothing bullish about it. The
Hmm.
only thing bullish is we haven't seen price collapse, and plummet down since we fell. And we're in a very similar situation here now where the chart doesn't look great. Longer time frames don't look the way we'd like them to. I'll agree, absolutely. We had a flow of money that apexed in February, and we've seen lower highs, and now we've really pulled down again. It is trending towards zero. But if we look back and say, okay, this weekly money flow is actually kind of part of a bigger structure, right? Then we can say December 2019, these lows here back in July, August, September of 2020, we saw something very similar happen where money flow almost went negative,
Hmm.
but then recovered and went back to that apex in February. So really that's what I would be looking for. I would definitely like to see money flow not move lower than that point. And if it doesn't, then I think we can start seeing some divergence and some kind of hopium.
Right.
But we don't have it yet. We really don't have it yet. Just the VWAP on the weekly showing us, hey, you haven't bounced yet. And I think it doesn't really even take market cipher for anyone to, with a chart eye, to make that determination. We haven't seen any bounce, and that's where the actual tangible hopium comes from.
Right. We,
Is
we need that.
where's the relief? You can't keep going down. There's no laws, there's no strict rules, but the way that perpetuals work, futures work, options work, you can't move in one direction without retracing. You just can't do it indefinitely. You have to have some kind of bounce at some point, or rejection in the term, or if we're talking about a rally being retraced, you have to, because you just have shorts piling on. They're allowed to stay open. And so eventually those shorts are going to look to take profit. And when they do, that's going to essentially act as a market buy on whatever we're talking about, whatever platform. And that pushes price back up, which then hits stop losses. And it's basically a chain reaction. Uh, Things really have to move in both directions, because one side just can't be allowed to win indefinitely, or
Right.
else we're in a scenario where no one's taking profit, which isn't really logical.
They're all hodling their shorts for the long game.
Hodl in the shorts, right?
I
I
do
could see.
know a lot of exchanges. The funding fee has actually switched bullish, so I'm holding four shorts right now along this way down, and
Mm.
I think I forget if it's ByBit or PHEMEX. I'm pretty sure at least one of the exchanges now is paying me to hold a long, and I am long on. I'm
Ooh,
schlong.
that's rare.
I'm schlong.
It's rare.
Yeah,
Schlong.
I'm schlonging it big time, bro. I'm long on Ethereum and Bitcoin from those lows, and I'm holding on, man. I'm hoping for that's why I came to you, Mr. Tom Crown. I'm coming to you because I'm in these longs and I need some hopium to kind of make the price go a little bit more high, if you know what I'm saying.
Of course. That's what the hopium's for. I feel it's kind of funny you say that. I think a lot of creators since kind of last year have like decided the same. Like whenever I need a little hopium, I'm just gonna come to Tom, ask him what's up, because you said it, man. like all through this time period, May, June, July, some people were a little bullish in the beginning, but come July, I can't name another person. I felt super gaslit. It was like everyone was like, "No, it's definitely going down. We're not going up." And I was like, "Guys, I just don't believe that." And at some point, I think I was one of the last standing, at least that I was aware of. And so
Yeah,
they come to me. They come, and I deal them what they need.
that's good, man. That's a good
Uh,
biz, sweet biz right there.
right.
And I am bullish. Like, unless we start closing some daily candles below 39K, that's why I'm long right now. Like, I'm expecting a relief rally here. Um,
Mhm.
like you say, I'm not expecting us to fall straight through, but my concern is, if we start closing candles below 39K, it could be a pretty quick move down to 30 or the high 20s because we don't really have much. We don't really have much support at all until we get back down to that range from the summer. If
Yeah,
we lose
absolutely.
this,
Absolutely. For someone scalping or someone even just using leverage at all, this is a really threatening position. I was just pulled up funding, and funding isn't where I want it to be. You know what I mean? We're seeing some neutral funding. It's mildly negative. Right now, it's actually leaning kind of back towards positive funding here.
mm,
We'll see what happens when the funding period expires. But this isn't what I want to see. I want to see heavy negative funding. I want to see the
right,
market overshorted. And we're not seeing that. I've been following this day to day. We're not seeing that. It's just slightly leaning towards to the shorts. So that's definitely not building confidence either. I can
right,
really see it playing out two ways. We had our impulse move and now we're getting our sideways move, which is just Bitcoin 101. It's like you fall, you move sideways.
hmm,
You move up, you move sideways. Like it's just its bread and butter. And we wait for it to resolve. And so I do think that we're going to see a retracement. And I think that 55 is a good zone, 57 kind of in that range.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not bad, not a bad target. I think that is the most probable move is that we see something like that and then climb back to 69. I think there's one other scenario, and that's where we don't get that bounce, that I was talking about that is critical to chart movement. And in that scenario, we get some kind of, little baby bounce, maybe back to like 45, 47, something like that. And then we do get that scary, spooky doom, where we drop down to price exploration basically to the downside.
yeah,
And that could be down at the 30s range where we built support before.
yeah,
But what I can say here to pack that bowl back up of hopium is that might be the better scenario. In a situation like that, I
right,
don't think that we're gonna stay there. With no relief bounce, I think the probability leans towards any further downside is gonna be a wick and a capitulation and then a run. So I'm not really afraid of that scenario either. But that's what makes it so dangerous on leverage or scalping is you can get caught and this move could happen very fast.
oh yeah,
Faster than you'd even notice it's happening. And by the time you checked it, it's already, price is already higher than when it started, maybe.
yep. You missed those chickens drinking, and you're right because the thing is, if we don't get a relief rally here and we do come down to the 30s, or, I don't know, have you pulled the Fibonacci retracement from the beer bug low to the all-time high? Because that golden pocket is coming in right below those wicks from the summer. Now you got to go back even farther, man. You got to go back to March 2020.
No, really? Well, hey, check this out. I just pulled that. That's a little hopium for you. A little
Oh,
40,000.1 for the little
interesting,
golden
bro.
pocket this way. I
Interesting.
literally have not looked at that.
This is
I just
log
put it
scale,
on there.
right?
Yeah, this is log. I know that
Very
regular
interesting, bro.
hit it earlier. But you know me,
Yeah,
I never put my chart on log on regular. It's always on log. So you're
right.
saying back March here?
Yeah, but I don't use logs, so I guess we're gonna have different fib pools. This is good
Hmm.
because now I get to see those log fibs.
There you go. I mean, the
Wow,
618 on log is back here at major support. That
that
golden
is
pocket
that is major.
10,500. Major,
Oh
like
man, yeah.
major laser. Yeah, that's spooky. And what I really don't like about it, so I'm gonna give the Bears a little hopium here. What I really think is threatening about this is not only is that literally like the main support zone of the entire
Right.
chart is like 10,005 to 10,7.
Mhm.
What I really don't like about it is our measured move is right there as well. That
Right.
is a spooky overlapping of fibs there, man. Golden pocket with the measured move downside, the 2 is at 12 or something. That's close enough for me. That
Hmm.
is rather spooky. But you're looking at a different chart. You're looking at this, which is spooky also. Actually, that looks more bullish to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, that looks pretty dang bullish to me, honestly.
Yeah.
uh, that looks like we're just literally in a sideways range from 30K to 65K, and we're just going to make another sweep back down to the lows before a bounce. But
Well,
you
it
know, we
hasn't
could.
actually touched the 786 yet, so it's still technically a golden retrace until it hits the 786.
Interesting. I'm looking at that 786 for a potential bounce as well because you see that wick right there that's touching the 786.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean there's some liquidity there that could be grabbed and we could get a little reversal there. You know, I'm sure a lot of people would start FOMOing short if we lose that 39K and they could get wrecked. I'm sure there's a
Hmm.
lot of big players who might want to fill up some large limit longs. Um,
Yeah, there's a bunch of different zones. I haven't looked at it this way. Silly, silly regular chartists. No, I'm just kidding. If you look at it this way, it's like you actually have
yeah.
multiple
Mm-hmm.
areas here. You got January's weekly closes, you have June's weekly closes, you have that 786 and that pullback wick on the weekly. That
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely a major like liquidity area.
Yeah.
There's almost no doubting that. I think the question that no one can answer is this the liquidity the whales want? You know, is this
Right.
the direction? And we don't have the answer. Sorry guys. We can only speculate and apply our analysis. Let's see what this looks like. Not bad.
We've got that super high volume node right there around like 34, 32,
There it
34.
is. Yeah, you know what? That really wouldn't be crazy to me
Yeah.
if we were to see kind of this price action. Because what we would have then is we would bolster the volume traded in this zone. If we got a sell off there, it'd probably be high volume.
Right.
And then on a move back up, we might get a more smoother distribution of volume. Because this is what I would kind of expect to see, right? Stronger supports built lower. And at the moment, we don't have that. We have actually less volume traded in this 34, 35 range than we do above us at that 30, 47, 48 range. And
Right.
so if we did see a move to the downside, maybe that would kind of be fixed.
Hmm.
Doesn't necessarily have to, but
Very, very
on
interesting thought, man. And it does
volume
make sense.
profile.
It makes sense that we would come back down to the golden pocket on regular chart because of that low volume node we have down there. When we look at the first wick we got down in December on December 4th, that came down literally to the low volume node. Because I'm looking at this as like three individual value areas over the
Mhm.
course of 2021.
Oh, for
And
sure. There's
you know,
almost no doubting it.
yeah. So we came down on December. We wicked perfectly down right to the golden pocket and that low volume node. We lost the golden pocket, lost the low volume node. It just makes sense if we're going to get a move downward. I'm targeting that high 20s golden pocket slash low volume node to just complete the rotation back down to the low of that value area.
It definitely makes sense. I mean, if we're even in this argument, we can say you have the least traded price point on Bitcoin is right below or right above 20,000. We see that on volume profile very dramatically. Um, Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I think in order to do this, we would likely have to see that relief happen first, something like that.
Yeah.
Say we came down to explore the 24s that everybody was yelling about last year. Um, it wouldn't be absurd to imagine filling in this volume. And I could see that then playing out something like this because what we get then is that huge broadening pattern that we've
Very,
seen
very
actually a
nice.
lot. We've seen this a lot in crypto. Right back here, that's what we saw. That
Mm.
was the 30K range. This was a broadening bottom wedge or whatever they call it.
Hmm.
And so that might make the chart look pretty crazy, actually. It looks something like this.
That would be very, very interesting and very bullish as well.
That's the funny part, is like a lot of people are probably sitting there crapping their pants, and it's like, well, this is actually a very bullish pattern technically. If you got this to play out, you would see something like this.
Yeah.
And that would be a very bullish pattern. Just one of the possibilities, There's nothing demands that we go back to this range, but it's not impossible. I don't think that that's what's going to happen, but it would be pretty interesting from a chart point of view, because, man, that's exactly what that whole 30,000 correction was like.
Very interesting. Yeah. Look at that.
Like
I never noticed that.
Oh, I never shut up about it.
I guess I haven't been watching enough Tom Crown then.
That's fine, buddy. None of us have enough time to watch everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's the pattern we got, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of maybe, if we're speculating lower than 30K, maybe we're expecting kind of a fractal to appear there. That's similar price action on a larger time frame. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is so interesting to look at this chart here and see that, we had such a fast move to the upside. And, I'm such a short-term trader that I forget, like, the bigger picture. And it's just like, man, we really had a huge move to the upside. And if we lose some of these supports, it'll be a really fast move back down to those lower prices. And it's crazy to think that just 2 years ago, Bitcoin was, what, 3K?
Yeah.
After the
3K. People were saying
insane.
it would never go back to 20, 2 years ago. And now it's like they want it to go back to 20, or I don't even know really what the mindset's at. But what was impossible just 2 years ago is now, maybe being argued the other way. It's impossible. It goes back there. It's crazy how crypto can just turn the perspective 180.
Yeah. I'm open for anything, man. As a hodler, I'm not gonna lie. I'm buying Bitcoin on the way down, right? I'm not trying to get the best entry. I'm just trying to accumulate more. So.
Good man. I think also some hopium can be found here. Is like this price structure of that head and shoulders, right? That everybody was talking about. And then we see it again. Are we really expecting it to play out differently? It's like this time it's really going to happen.
Right.
People were sold in the spring last year. People were 100% sold on this idea that we have a head and shoulders and we're going back to 20K, maybe lower. People were thinking, I'm going to buy at 3K. I can say this. I don't know if it's ever going to go back to 20. But I can all but guarantee it's never going back to 3. Sorry.
Yeah, I think if it goes back to 3, we're going to have some issues that extend far beyond the cryptocurrency market.
Oh yeah.
So
I really think we just see this repeat. We have the spooky head and shoulders. When you get that spooky head and shoulders, you just tickle a new low, stop out everybody. Maybe we get that exact same kind of 1, 2, 3 bottom.
Yeah.
And then we move back up to a new high. Like, this would catch everyone out again, which is exactly what it did back here. It did it pretty well in September, not as savagely, but that's like kind of Bitcoin's game, right? Get everybody on the wrong side of the trade and then blast up or down.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, like I've noticed in these consolidation phases that everyone is always waiting. Well, I shouldn't say everyone, but for me, I was always waiting. Lower. I was looking for lower. I was looking to take out the low. I wanted to long if we took out that low, and we never took it out in the summer. We never took it out in the fall. And believe it or not, I actually longed in the summer that lowest wick from 28K. And I guess, but then I closed that trade got stopped out. I took profits. I always take profits, but the trade got stopped out just a little bit above my entry, so I made some good money on it. But then all of a sudden, the real trade I missed. I had to get in after the first retracement at around what was that, like 41?
Yeah, it's not a bad spot though.
No, but it's just funny how that happens, right? It's like both times waiting for lower never happened. So I'm thinking something similar, just like you said, could happen right now, where we just keep tickling the support, man. You know, pull out our little feather duster and just, you know.
Look a lot like this. Let's make this work. Come on. Oh yeah, I know why that's not working. There we go. I was like, wait, this is like perfect when I did it the other day. There we are. You know, it's very similar price structure, and it's very similar sentiment. It's very similar interest, hype, kind of mindset. I haven't been seeing new investors. You know, I haven't been seeing people come in like, today's my first day in crypto. And we were seeing that a ton all last year, and it was always at predictable times. You know what I mean? It was never here. It was never here. It was always up at these highs. That's really where my core hopium comes from. It's funny because I spent so much time on charts, but then there are times where the chart, you have to kind of accept and be ready that the chart's trying to get you in the wrong direction. And that's almost always at a peak, you know, or a trough, swing high or swing low.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's what we're seeing again. Seeing really similar clues. The chart looked, I remember saying this in July, it was just like, man, there's nothing on this chart that is bullish.
Right.
But I still think the bottom's in. I still think we're going up. And now, you know, TA or indicators, they're not going to show us. You know, they're not going to help us here, because when we're at these swing lows, we see our indicators are always kind of at their bottom or their zero or their negative, you know, 100, whatever you're using. And at our swing highs, it's the opposite. They're all maxed out at the top.
Right.
The tops and the bottoms, it's like in between. I think TA and indicators are wonderful and really reliable, but at the very swing high and the very swing low, they're always going to be pointing the wrong way every single time. There's really no mathematical way that it can be otherwise.
That's an interesting perspective, man.
Push down, there's no upward movement to move your indicators back up, so it's always going to be pointing down at the bottom. It's always going to be pointing up at the top. It's kind of more game theory, I guess, than it is analysis.
Hey, man, maybe this is a giant simulation, like some people say. I don't actually, I don't subscribe to that, but you know, people say that. So just people in the chat are actually asking who Tom Crown is. So hang on, let me go to. I know, I'm gonna share your YouTube channel in the
Thank you.
in the So let me come down.
Just some guy.
He's just he's a cool lad. He's a cool lad. He lives on a farm. He just got 50K subscribers. Congratulations, bro. And let's post that in here. I'll actually pin it, Tom Crown. Boom, pin the comment. So go check out and subscribe to Tom Crown if you never heard of him. And yeah, so cool, man. I think it's very interesting to see everything that's happening with Bitcoin. But I know that you're into the altcoins big time. You know, I popped into some of your streams and you're trading lots of different coins. Is there anything right now that you're stoked on or that you've been trading lately that you want to share with the world, bro, with the millions of people watching?
Of course, all the millions out there. Well, especially because they don't know who I am. I should probably clarify. So on my stream, you know, I look at any chart with almost no exception. Love charts, love charting. Altcoins for me, though, are tools to acquire more Bitcoin. I am very much a maximalist, but I am probably not the type of maximalist you think of when you think of that word. I do buy altcoins, and I do it because I found it's the most effective way to get more Bitcoin. Trading Bitcoin against the dollar, I found, is way less successful, at least in my experience. Because with altcoins, you can use Bitcoin pairs. You're really bypassing the whole dollar value altogether. You can see Bitcoin USD drop, but your other coin can rally against Bitcoin, and so you can still be locking in profits. It's less dependent on the trend, I believe.
Yeah,
but that said, just so I clarify, there are a few coins that I've been watching here, for sure. And what's interesting to me is they're all very similar looking in their chart. So FTM, you started it out. FTM is one of them. Phantom, definitely one of them. I think we're seeing a very large inverse head and shoulders paint here. That's kind of faked us out a few times. I'd like to see today close above $2.84. If it doesn't, things can look a little uglier. But FTM, definitely on my radar. I'm looking for it to break its all-time high, head up to maybe a $5 psychological value. Depending on what the rest of the market does, maybe as high as 762 for our 1618 extension.
Spicy, bro.
It's pretty. This dang spicy chart. I was telling people, I made a video about this back in December. It was like December-ish. It was like, am I thinking of FTM? I get these confused. I get FTM and my other one I'm going to point out confused sometimes because their charts look so similar to me. The other one would be Harmony 1.
Yeah, I saw you post a video on it, man. I woke up one morning in bed and I flipped open YouTube, and the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes that morning was your face and your analysis, bro. It was pretty nice.
What a wonderful way to wake up.
Yeah.
This is ONE BTC, and this is another, even if you don't want to trade Bitcoin pairs, if you're not like me, that's fine. You can still get very, very good information from this chart. So say you don't want to trade one BTC, but you want to trade one USD, the BTC chart still has really good info for you. Something I pointed out was it was looking to break its all-time high that was set in October last year, back earlier in January this year. Actually, I was talking about this kind of back here at like 600-ish. Where was it? 600-ish sats, a little bit below. But this did break out. It's in price discovery still, technically. It's pulled back a little bit. But this was a really great signal that it was going to... this is a really great signal that it was looking to put on some gains in its dollar pair. So you can see this might have given us the signal January 3rd. And where was it? Right around here in $1.29. It doesn't sound so great today because it's at 31, but it did then go on to reach up to like 38 cents. Yeah. Double top, looks like. To me, this actually, now I haven't looked at this in a bit. This is looking real good. I don't trust double tops ever. So unless this drops, the bottom falls out on this, I think that this is going to go back up.
Can you pull up in Market Cipher B real quick on it?
Yeah, sure. But the cool point was like the BTC pair was giving us a little tip off that the USD pair may be doing well in the future without even looking at it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I also enjoyed looking at the BTC pairs for alts, because if they're both at support or both at resistance, it can really...
And it happens commonly. It happens very commonly. So Market Cipher B, I think actually looks pretty solid on this as well.
That looks
bullish.
Got your
money flows peaking back up. VWAP needs to curl, but you got your momentum moving up, your lows moving up, and you had that little trip to negative money flow. Now you're back in positive, and you're back at your all-time high. Yeah, this looks not so bad at all.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Looks pretty good. Whew, God, I wish Bitcoin's weekly looked like this, don't you?
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a few more.
I'm actually glad Bitcoin's weekly looks the way it does, because at least the VWAP's coming up, giving us some relief.
This is my last one. I have cleaner charts somewhere. Atom. If you notice that they all have pretty much the same kind of chart structure. You have like your highs back in late 2021. You had some kind of like head and shoulders inverse pattern play out. And really these charts are looking pretty much identical to me. You have that same pattern playing out on all of them. And so those all have my eye, for sure. Got alerts set on those babies.
Interesting, man. You're going to long the breakout?
I actually have all of these coins already, so...
This is you're like on spot, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Gotcha. I'm a spot kind of guy. I like spot. You can pick how quickly or when you want to move, and if it doesn't work, you can pretty much just wait.
Right. Yeah, I guess I'm into leverage, man. I guess there's just something so nice about knowing you don't have to commit to the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For sure, that makes sense. You're very much committed in spot. Sometimes
Yeah.
not. You get lucky, but yeah, some of these coins I've held, I won't bullshit your audience, man. Some of these coins I've held for years because they're just not back to where I got them, um, and that's okay for me because I plan around that. Yeah, I make very small positions in coins, and so if they don't do anything for years, I kind of just write it off as a loss. I don't sell it. I just keep it, and sometimes I've seen them pop off and do really well,
Right.
even when I
Yeah,
thought
for
they were
sure.
done.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, cool. So, what else is going on, man? You got any big things planned? Anything you want to share?
You know, not specifically. I guess I am the owner of a video that flopped today. I did like the crypto.com got hacked yesterday. Video did great. It's kind of new stuff. And then I put out this one on Intel and Bitcoin mining and crap to bed. That's okay.
When did you release it?
Uh,
Just recently?
yeah, right before we went live.
So, how is it already crapped? It just went live.
I did just, it's been live for what, an hour and 3 minutes. Got 400 views. It's very low end for me.
Yeah, I guess that.
That's okay. That's how content creating is. You know, you sometimes crap gold and you have no idea why, and sometimes you put a lot of work into stuff and nobody likes it, and it's just the way it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, that's how it goes. I've had some of my stupidest videos blow up. I mean, I remember this one time I made a video. You know, I have a desk bike. That's where I do a lot of my work on a desk bike so that I don't get fat.
Mm,
And
I need to get one.
I made a video on a desk bike, and I just was talking, not just to put a video out, right?
Yep.
It ended up like getting. I think that video got over 100,000 views.
Wow, really? I've never
Yeah.
had a video go that high. I have to watch that one.
This was a long time ago. So I've had my channel since 2017. I came out in 2017, and I hopped on the crypto train because of I just saw an opportunity to grow a channel. But unfortunately, I didn't really know anything about um, trading at that point. I was just like covering cryptocurrency news, right? So then the channel kind of went away. But this was back in those days where crypto was super hot, man. So
Yeah, last year in January. That was a super hot time. I think it's coming back
yeah,
though. I would blow my mind to not see some kind of hype come back in this year. It blow my mind. There's so much going on behind the scenes. You know, you look at the globe, and the whole globe is changing. The whole globe is now being forced to acknowledge cryptocurrency, and that wasn't true. That was just simply not true. Even 2, 3 years ago, it was a joke to say something like that. Now it's very much reality. El Salvador kind of smashed that door open by accepting it as legal tender. We're going to see other countries follow suit. In fact, we already have, not really big ones, but they're coming, bigger ones. And it'd be weird to think that, the price has been reflective of that. Like we've seen all this development priced in already, with a 3x from the previous high in 2017. It just doesn't add up for me.
yeah. Yeah, I hope you're right. I mean, I definitely do think we're going to start to see the masses being onboarded to this technology because I mean, there's no denying the fact that if society continues the way it is, there is the necessity that everything is blockchain.
Definitely
So
some things. I'm not someone who thinks everything has to be on the blockchain. I think a lot of things it doesn't make sense for. But I think a lot of things it does, and I think that the things it does offer a huge value to the future.
yeah,
We just don't really know. We just don't really know what that, we don't know exactly where it fits in yet. It started with a monetary system, and now we're seeing all kinds of applications, gaming,
yeah,
NFTs, all kinds of things. And I truly believe that the real or like the true purpose of crypto, we might not even have a concept of how that looks when it arrives, or if it already has arrived.
yeah. And along those lines, like, how do you feel about the virtual reality, augmented reality, the metaverse is being called right now? That seems to play a pretty big role in blockchain for the future.
Yeah, people are very interested in it. Seems like all venture capital in the world right now is chasing after the metaverse, whatever that is.
Yeah, Web 3.0, they say.
Yeah. As you know, I don't want to toot my horn, but I think I can call myself like an expert in the space. That doesn't mean I'm saying I'm the best in, the space or something, just that I have good knowledge, maybe more so than the average person. And I still can't explain to you all of this NFT Web3 development stuff. It's just happening so fast and there's so much, I guess, involved with it that it's very difficult to keep up, even as someone, is a better way to put it, that is
Who's
looking at
an
this full
expert in the
time.
space? You are the expert in the space, Tom.
There we go. Misquote. Someone looking at it full time. It's still hard for me to keep up. I think that the metaverse, if and when it comes into fruition, that is something that does demand a blockchain. Something
Yeah.
where we have kind of an augmented reality. We need something to build on that isn't a centralized source. And maybe that is the golden thing that crypto is going to do. I don't know. Um, it all sounds a little scary to me, right? I'm going to
Yeah.
sound like a boomer now. It's all a little spooky. I don't know. Do I want my life to be virtual? Well, I guess it already is. I'm making videos on
Right.
the internet and tweeting, and yeah, maybe I'm already trapped. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept because, when I think about the metaverse and my life living in a virtual space, part of me says this is going to be extremely detrimental to humanity, and I believe it will be. But the other part of me is like, I literally live in the metaverse. I spend my day looking at a screen, talking to people in Discord, and making videos. And the next step would just be to have a completely immersive experience where I can see people and smell people. And then maybe I'll still have to shower in the metaverse, unfortunately.
Ah, well, like if you think about it, is that really very different from what we do? And
Exactly. It's not.
I would like to say that it is, but it isn't. It's like I spend most of my time on the computer. I guess the difference would be I'm wearing a headset. It's more immersive or something. That isn't so scary. It just
Yeah.
sounds like a different kind of television.
The weird thing is, the Neuralink that people like Elon Musk are working on, allegedly monkeys are already using it to play video games, and, that could be pretty crazy. And I just think the thing that scares me the most about it is, well, first of all, we have no idea what effect it's going to have on developing humans, on kids, on
Mhm.
adults, the psychological, emotional, physical impacts. There's no way to know what that could do.
For
And
sure.
I can't imagine the confusion it could cause when you're, let's say you're a kid. I have young kids growing up where they might not know what's real and what's not. And then
Yeah,
throw
man.
throw on top of that, if this gets centralized by the wrong people, I mean, reality could be censored, which is a crazy thing.
It's all kind of made me think of everything in kind of different terms of, you know, we see this future and it's kind of dystopian and it's a little scary, but every time I have one of these thoughts, I ask myself, how different is that from what I'm already doing? And it's funny how often the answer is not really. We
Right.
talk, we can say, and I totally agree, is impacts on human development, for something like a metaverse. We don't know the consequences, but I think we can say the exact same thing about the internet right now, about smartphones. They're very immersive. It's brand new. We don't really, there's only generations recently that grew up with them when they were young enough to kind of, be molded by it, let's say. I don't, is it a good thing? I'd say probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. Uh, but it's very similar, and I think that it's kind of just that's the next branch is like more immersive. It's the future. I think is always going to be a little intimidating when it comes to technology because it moves so much faster than life. It's
Right.
very exponential.
Yeah, and it's interesting, obviously we use this technology to live right now, and this is what I do for a living. But, we always have to ask the question, like, just because something can be done, does it mean it should be done? And, I believe that, unfortunately, it seems that most of these new technologies have done more harm to man than good. I mean, just look at the conditions of the world now, this technologically advanced civilization that we've become. We have more war, more death, and more depression. I mean, more issues just because we're so detached from actually being human. We're so detached from that. And we're so isolated, right? The sense of community that used to cause civilizations to thrive is completely hollowed out. We're just a shell of what that used to be, and we literally are, like you say, we're all. It's not the future is not different than what we are now. It's just more immersive. It's interesting, man. Some weird stuff.
It's that question is, just because we can, should we? I think logically the answer is no, not everything. Right? I think everyone can agree. I wonder if the question though should be, if we can, is there a way that we don't? Is there really a way that we avoid kind of using it or someone trying to capitalize on it? And I think the answer might be no. How do we avoid that? Do we all just collectively decide to log off Facebook? I mean, that did kind of happen over the last 10 years maybe. But that wasn't quick. We definitely didn't reject it quickly. I wonder if there really is kind of an ability to say no.
It's very difficult. I mean, I'm not on Facebook, but I can say that I don't think I could just get off of this stuff. I don't think I have that ability. Like, I don't have any skills in life that could, earn me enough money to pay the bills without crypto. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember what life is like before I started doing this anymore.
Yeah. Hey, Bitcoin's pumping.
It's just a part of me. Is it? I'm
yeah,
on the
man.
Daily,
get off the one day, man.
All.
Get to the scalping channel. Oof, man. This pump, baby.
Ooh, hey, there we go, baby. There we go.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about, man. Let's go, baby.
It hurt us. It hurt our hopium.
I'm long from 41.3. Let's go. No, don't come down, green candle. Go back up.
Keep closing these like solid no wick top candles. Just pump us to the moon. I've been, as somebody who's not scalping, man, I've been so bored by the price action.
Yeah, you should get into it just for fun, man.
Yeah, I might be forced to do that.
I mean, it is pretty fun because, like, first of all, you can risk like nothing. Just leverage it up. Like if you do like 70x leverage, you could put almost 100% of your ByBit account on the trade, 75% of it, and you're only risking 1% if you lose. And just look at market Cipher as support and resistance, and you could do pretty well.
I've done some scalping. Even live. I find it very stressful. I like to really gear my trading and investing towards anti-stress.
I see.
Yeah, I really like to just sit back and watch things moon over time. But you probably remember, I had a short open. Remember?
I do.
Back in August. I forgot about this completely. You'd be interested. Guess when I closed it? Because I did close it.
November 9th.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. It came back in profit, and I was like, holy hell. I really didn't think this would ever be back in profit. I think like the takeaway point for that is I opened it and people thought I was crazy. Or no, even before that, calling that I was going to open a short at 48,000 when we were at 30 sounded crazy. Shorting, actually doing it at 48,000 sounded crazy. People were like, no, it's going to keep going. Not closing it as it went up to 69,000, kept it open, seemed crazy. And then after all that time, August, September, October, November, December, almost 6 months later, I was able to close that in the green.
Nice,
plus funding that entire time.
That's legit, bro. I guess that's super low stress.
It was an awesome play. I opened it expecting it to get liquidated. It was just a hedge against my spot portfolio. And I got lucky. And I'm sure someone can say that wasn't the exact bottom, because I didn't close it at the exact bottom. It's gone a little lower since then. But since then, funding, has gone negative. I was only paid the entire time to keep that open, and then I got paid to close it.
That's awesome, man. I should probably get into that a little bit more myself. This pump is pretty nice, man.
It's
I have
not
to
bad.
say, scalping can be stressful. I mean, I feel like doing it every year. I like lose 3 years of my life because the sleep aspect of it, where
It's
you
crypto.
you're waiting for that level, and you got your alert set, so it's like 2 a.m. and you like roll over on your phone, and then you can't go back to sleep. And yeah, it's
Yeah, watching the candles. I still
watching
do
those
that, and I don't even
candles.
scalp.
Really.
This is such an addiction, isn't it?
It really is, man. I mean, it actually is an addiction. I have
100%.
to make a very, very, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional point. Like, I have to leave my phone home if I like go out with my wife or something. Like, if I'm hanging out with my
Absolutely.
kids.
Yeah, that's really what we should be talking about. We should be telling everybody about Cryptoholics Anonymous, the group we're starting up.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, seriously, I think relationships are super impacted by crypto. Like, I know mine have been, specifically romantic ones. But even friendships, it's like you're so busy and caught up in the moment at times that kind of drop the ball on things around you, and that's not healthy. It's not a good thing.
yeah.
I'm very guilty of that.
I am as well, my friend. It's crazy, right? Um, it's definitely a dopamine addiction. It's weird though, because trading will help you overcome dopamine addictions in a lot of ways, because you have to be patient, and there's not that instant gratification, but there is the constant nagging of, I made a plan, and it could be happening right now, and I'm not there to look at it, and I might miss it.
Yeah, and if I'm not watching it, it won't happen. But then if you do watch it, it never happens.
Right, it never happened. And then you go back in time, and like at least for me, like when I enter a trade, it like feels like it happened so fast. But then you go back in time, you're like, that was like 5 12-minute candlesticks.
Yep.
That was like an hour and a half of time, and it felt like 1 minute. But like this long I'm in right now. Well, I've been long for a very long time. I've been
Ooh, there
long
you
all
go.
day.
There you go.
But
This
even
is
this
still rolling.
this pump is it's been a while. It's been like half an hour, 45 minutes.
Actually, it's probably been building since we started, right? 25 minutes off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Finally,
did take a
bro.
long time.
I've been waiting for this all day. Like we came to a very significant support golden pocket. We had 1 hour bullish divergence, but it was such a weak bounce, and I thought we were gonna come lower. So I'm glad, man. This is working out right now. Whew. What a relief! My day is successful. I can tell my wife that we will have food tomorrow.
We will be eating. This 15-minute, this is insane. You see the money flow on the 15? Look at this. This
Yeah,
like,
man.
what do you even call this? Like a bush, like a head.
A bullish fire bush. A bullish fire bush. That's what I call
Fire
that.
bush, man. It's like it wants to roll over. It signaled it wanted to roll over here. No, and here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It still hasn't rolled over. Just that is tricky. And
That's
then all of
looking
a
good
sudden,
though.
it just starts popping up.
I mean, I've been watching that money flow all day. That's why I've been holding along all day, thinking. I'm thinking like if we come down lower, we're still gonna bounce. Cause look at look at the 1 hour, like the 1 hour
Yeah, it's there.
and the
The
2
1 hour's
hour.
looking spicy. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah, bullish div, like uneven butt cheeks and everything, man.
2
So
hours about to kind of align into that if it can keep pushing just a little more, and then the 3, you see that like fake out here on money flow, that could lead to a significant rally after that deep swing low earlier,
yeah,
and then you get
let's
that
do it,
little
man.
nub.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
let's do it. I'm in.
This could be the high or low. Like my two scenarios are, we did bottom out at 39.6. And we are going to put in a higher low either right here because this is the golden pocket from the low to the high,
Mhm.
or we're going to put in a lower high at maybe like 40.7, or we're going to get a fake out to the downside and then pump. Those are my 3 bullish scenarios, and I'm hoping this is a higher low. I'm hoping we can break market structure here on a higher term time frame and finally get that relief that we're looking for.
That just keeps going. Do you do this? Do you find yourself doing this too? You're sitting and watching the chart, and you're like, all right, one more candle. Let's watch one more. And then you
Yes.
like literally watch it second by second, and then it gets down, and you're like, "Nah, that wasn't the one I wanted. One more," and it's like that. 7 hours later, somehow.
Yep, that happens sometimes, man. It's
I
tough.
do it all the time. I
It's
do it
tough.
constantly.
You got to work on the art of hiding the phone in your like shirt or something so that you can kind of look at it and pretend like you're having a conversation with your wife.
I gotta put mine on airplane mode. That is really. We should have a Cryptoholics Anonymous episode where we talk about life hacks living in crypto with like family and relationships, because yeah, it's real stuff.
Yeah.
I have to put mine on airplane mode. I have to just totally have my phone off because I'm always getting alerts. I'm always getting Discord notifications, YouTube notifications, Twitter notifications. People are messaging me. I'm getting spam emails. I'm getting, like scammers trying to get me to promote their whatever. Like they're always digging at you. And maybe that's not, maybe not everybody has that going on, but everyone still has like that nagging of, check the price, check the price. Maybe it's gone up. Why don't you check
Yeah.
out? You have alerts set, but maybe it didn't go off for some reason.
Right. Right.
Real, dude. I know I've driven my girlfriend up a wall many times. She has been fed up with my crap, and rightfully so. Like rightfully so. I'm not. She's super sweet, but it's really easy to just get lost in all
Yeah.
of this and not do the things you need to do.
I I totally feel that, man. It's a constant struggle. People always ask me, Jay, how do you like balance the family and the homestead and trading? And it's like I am not that good at balancing. Like
I'll let you know when I figure it out.
yeah, it's like it's a constant struggle, man. I always have to repent of my shortcomings, and every few weeks I have to like have a great reset.
That's good. Yeah, taking time to disconnect and do something else is not talked about nearly enough.
Yeah, for
Have a
sure.
hobby. I lost all my hobbies when I got into crypto, and it was a mistake. I need to get them back.
The only hobby I still have is weightlifting, and that's because my gym is in my trading office, so
Convenient.
it works out pretty well. Yeah, man. Deadlifting and trading at the same time for double the gains. If you know what I'm saying.
It's compounding gains. It's the secret to success.
Yeah, man. It's true. Like I was just talking to some of my friends who are you into the gym? I forget.
I definitely have had times in my life where I was like, I consider myself a bodybuilder, and I've been struggling now since the whole pandemic. It's been difficult, and I moved far away from my gym, which also is not helpful. Um, I would consider myself, I'm an active enthusiast, but I've disconnected with that over the last, year or so, more than I'd like to. So something I need to get back into.
Yeah, man. I always find that I trade better after a nice workout.
I believe it. I believe it. Get your head cleared, focus on something else. That kind of goes along with what I was saying about hobbies, taking breaks. It's like really just anything where you disconnect from the charts for a little bit. You can come back with a fresh take, recharged, ready to see what's there instead of being exhausted and kind of just seeing what you were seeing, looking for it more.
Right. Yes, that's so true. That's so true, man. That's 100% true.
You got yourself a little rally, man. I'm probably gonna have to jump off because of what I was literally just saying. I need to go spend some time with my lady.
Oh, cool,
Uh,
man. I'll watch the charts for you.
can you make sure? Yeah, just make sure they're okay, would you?
I will. I'll let you know if anything
Thank
happens.
you. Casper, you're one of my favorite people in this space, dude. You're a real dude. You're you're not BSing. You're not LARPing like so many people are here. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Appreciate it, man. I feel the same way about yourself, and excited to collab again in the future, man.
For sure we will. Maybe we'll get something together for next month.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, make sure to subscribe to Tom Crown on YouTube and join his Discord. And yeah, God bless everyone.
Enjoy
And
the green.